free play, and all of a sudden Matt Chapman has to play at shortstop, and you want to get maybe Vladdy's off his feet that day and Cavan's at first, you have to have a safety net, right? Because you don't have Santiago Espinal back yet.
No, it's a great point. But maybe when the Blue Jays clinch, we'll see some interesting lineups trotted out there. But, yeah, nothing mathematically clinched yet. Ben, fingers crossed for you that you get to call 61 and 62 and a Blue Jays victory, because that would be the best of all worlds.
That is my ultimate trifecta of this Wednesday evening.
We'll see. Thanks for this.
Good to see you.
Eat your beans.
Here it is.
All right. There's Ben Wagner, voice of the Blue Jays on Sportsnet 590, The Fan. Yeah, you can check out Ben Nicholson-Smith's article on sportsnet.ca if you're interested in exactly how the Blue Jays postseason roster could end up being constructed as we look forward to the postseason after 7 more games of this regular season. And one of the guys that's on the list of notable omissions is Nate Pearson, who was at the topic of conversation yesterday when Ross Atkins took to the field and did an impromptu media availability. Nate Pearson, because he has not even been activated off the injured list, is still on an injury rehab, is unlikely to participate in the postseason. Well, one, because we haven't seen him at the major league level, and the performances at AAA haven't exactly jumped off the page. He's had some good moments and some good reports as far as the velocity. But, yeah, he would have to be activated in the major leagues and then optioned. And if he's optioned, then it's 10 days before he can be returned to the major leagues of baseball. So unlikely to see Nate Pearson. Obviously, Yusei Kikuchi not going to be on the postseason roster. As far as the lineup for tonight's game is concerned, George Springer is the DH today. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. back on the field as the first baseman. And in days gone by, if you're totally old school about it, perhaps after what we saw in the 6th inning yesterday, well, one, maybe Vladimir Guerrero Jr. would have been lifted from that game in that moment, and two, might not be starting in this game. Of course, these are games of high significance, so unlikely to see that. And also, you could see it in the dugout. And John Schneider talked about this also during his media availability. Vladdy knows he's screwed up. Nobody needs to tell him. Lots of people did, including Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and probably George Springer. More than a few players went over to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. after not legging that potential double out of the box and then being thrown out at second base. I would suspect that we don't see that the rest of the regular season or the postseason from Vladdy. It also should be said that, okay, well, I've talked plenty of times about the Teoscar Hernandez play in Game 1 on Monday that ended up not costing the Blue Jays, but certainly was the same total scenario where he was admiring it even more coming out of the box, but ended up on second base, and the Blue Jays won the game, so no harm, no foul. But on yesterday, or on Monday in that same game, that Teoscar Hernandez didn't leg that double out of the box. Vladdy had a ground ball that was super routine that could have been 2, but certainly could have been a fielder's choice, that Isaiah Kiner-Falefa looked at second and then threw to first, but because of the effort of Vladdy, was safe at first base and led to a rally, and the Blue Jays end up winning that game in extra innings after tying it up after being down 2-0. So it's not like every time this guy comes out of the box, he's not going 100%. Blue Jays, top wild card in the American League, trying to seal that up here in the final 7 games. They hold 0 tiebreakers against any of the teams that they are playing, or at least fighting with, for that top wild card spot. Nor the Rays nor the Mariners do they own the season series against. And you know what? They don't own the season series against the New York Yankees. If they win today, they'll be 9-10 against the Yankees. Home field advantage means something, but not as much as just making the playoffs. And it's interesting to look at the standings right now and imagine what the feeling would be around all 3 of these American League baseball teams if the rules were what they were a season ago. If we did not have the playoffs expanded by just the one team, but that's seemingly all the difference, because the Blue Jays are only 3 games up on the Mariners and only 1.5 games up on the Rays. So right now, the Blue Jays would be 3 games up on being inside the playoffs with 7 games to go, which would be comfortable enough, but certainly within the realm of possibility that a postseason berth would elude them, and we'd have plenty to play for here in these final 7 games. I do tend to think that this is just one of those weirdo seasons where the 3 wildcard teams have just separated themselves from the team on the outside looking in, and that maybe next year it feels more important between all 3 of these wildcard teams. But yeah, even in the National League, and I know the Brewers are still there, a game and a half out behind the Phillies, but neither of those teams look like serious World Series contenders. But we probably would have said the same about the Atlanta Braves before they went on that miracle October run. It is time now for a last call, brought to you by Bet Rivers. It's a whole new game. Let's start here. Blue Jays and New York Yankees at Rogers Center. Mitch White against Garrett Cole. And despite the potential hangover, the Yankees are favored in this baseball game because of the starter alone. Garrett Cole, who's not having the best season of his career, has a ton of strikeouts, but also giving up the most home runs in the American League. Yankees minus 122 favorites. Blue Jays plus 108. The other thing about this matchup is that Garrett Cole's starting it, and it's not like he's going to be lifted after 60 pitches, but I can guarantee you Garrett Cole's not throwing like 110 in this one, and I'd be surprised if he even threw 100. So if the Blue Jays are patient and get to him early, a potential early bullpen appearance by the New York Yankees you could see tonight. And the relievers that the Yankees use, hard to imagine that it's their highest leverage relievers in tonight's game. That means absolutely nothing to them. Although Anthony Rizzo probably wants to go 1-0 in his managerial career. Elsewhere around the American League playoff race, it is the Rays in Cleveland playing a Guardians team that also has nothing to play for.
Live streaming can be tricky, and sometimes trying to find the right software to make your streams look really professional can be a real chore. The thing I like about StreamYard is that the user interface
evening. So we look forward to that. Full breakdown tomorrow on the show. Appreciate everyone tuning in, everyone watching, listening, streaming, downloading. Don't forget to set your PVRs on TSN4 and on TSN2. There's a little organ to take us home. I love it. Thanks to everyone behind the scenes for helping out. We're out of here. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy the games tonight. We're back tomorrow at
Lavi, you're not ugly. 4 p.m.
We'll chat soon.
Well, major problems continue up by Pearson Airport. 401 eastbound express at Dixie. Collision blocks the 4 left lanes. We had a car roll over. It's causing a huge backup. The westbound 401 just volume from the DVP to Dixie. Everyone's slowing down to get a look. 404 southbound still approaching the 401. Don Valley Parkway northbound delays from Don Hills to the 401. The Gardner heavy both ways into downtown. Blue Jays on at 7. QEW eastbound slow through Mississauga. And slight delays on the 410 northbound approaching Queen. Earning a little extra doesn't have to be hard. Open a Simply Financial no-fee checking account and earn $350. Conditions apply. Visit simply.com for details. From the News Talk 1010 Traffic Center, I'm Chris McKee.
First up with Korolnik and Koliakovo. Weekday morning 6 till 10 on TSN 1050.
You ain't first, you're last.
More points, more offers, more savings. PC Optimum Points Days have arrived. Here's Candace.
Hey, PC. This was the first year I took advantage of your Points Days event, and I walked away with a...
When you're a doctor, sometimes trying to keep hope alive is the biggest challenge.
He was lucky he had you fighting for him.
Why?
Because that's who you are.
The new season of Transplant. Get into it starting Friday, 9/10 Mountain. Set your PBR only on CTV.
Fridge full of food, plus an extra 112,000 points. That's like $112 back.
Sounds like your points days literally paid off, Candace. With offers in every aisle and billions of points up for grabs, PC Optimum Points Days are one of the ways we make every day better. On now until September 28th. Open the PC Optimum app today and start earning.
Some things leave you guessing. Like, why are yawns so contagious? But you know who doesn't leave you guessing? MailChimp. MailChimp analyzes data from billions of emails to offer up personalized recommendations for how to improve things like your email content and audience targeting. Guess less and sell more with the #1 email marketing and automation brand, Intuit MailChimp, based on competitor brands' publicly available data on worldwide numbers of customers in 2021-2022.
Hey, Toronto. Thinking about moving out of Ontario? Why not consider Alberta? It has higher salaries, lower taxes, and a lower cost of living. I moved recently, and I feel I'm already getting ahead faster here than I would in other provinces. If you're thinking about moving, Alberta is definitely worth considering. It also has some of Canada's most stunning scenery.
Alberta is calling. Learn more at albertaiscalling.ca. A message from the Government of Alberta.
The Bel Air Direct app includes Crash Assist, which detects an accident the moment it happens and even offers you emergency assistance at the tap of a button.
Okay, but what if I don't have an accident?
Well, just keep on keeping on. Bel Air Direct. Insurance. Simplified. Conditions apply.
Going back to the office? Kids heading back to school? Sobeys Pharmacy is here to help. Ask us about booking your COVID-19 booster shot to help protect you and your family against COVID-19 infection. Or book online today at pharmacyappointments.ca.
Vaccines do not provide 100% protection.
Ontario has a plan to get students caught up. It starts with kids back in the classroom on time. With sports, clubs, and field trips. It includes new tutoring supports and teaching new experiences in science, technology, engineering, and math. So students have the skills they need for the jobs of tomorrow. See our plan at ontario.ca/catch-up. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
This is you on a normal vacation. Want to hit the pool?
Sure.
This is you getting more on a Sunwing vacation. Want to hit the pool?
Sure. Right after my jet ski tour, full body massage, mani-pedi, seaweed facial, and sunset dinner. You meant the infinity pool with luxury cabanas, right?
Yeah, that one. With hundreds of top-rated resorts and excursions at amazing prices, you get more under our wing. Book with your travel agent or...
Two-time Academy Award winner Hilary Swank stars.
I'm going to break this story.
In one of the most anticipated dramas of the season, Alaska Daily. New series starts Thursday, October 6th. Set your PVR, only on CTV.
You don't ride an elevator for the music, and you don't pick an airline for the movies. So when it comes to audio entertainment, it makes sense to choose Audible. It's the home for stories told by the biggest stars, like John Hamm, Kerry Washington, and Kevin Hart. It's home to epic adventures, chilling mysteries, and can't-miss comedies. Audible is the home of storytelling. Let your imagination soar with audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Start listening free at audible.ca.
Get your tickets now for the Hyundai Hockey Hall of Fame Legends Classic. Matt Sundin and Eric Lindros captain two star-studded teams. Sunday, November 13th at Scotiabank Arena. Tickets at
Leafs Game Night on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs live here.
And here we are again inside Scotiabank Arena. Jim Taddy and Frank Corrado with you. Joe Bone and Jimmy Rouse standing by. Face off in about 10 minutes from now. The Montreal Canadiens in town tonight. This is September 28th. 2022. Some of us can remember September 28, 1972, and that was, of course, the Summit Series win. Paul Henderson getting the game-winning goal, his third game-winning goal in a row, and we will be throwing down to ice level. Mike Ross, the PA announcer, will take things over at 7:05 to pay tribute to some of the hockey players from that team who are here tonight. But in the meantime, the Leafs getting back on the ice after that split squad game where it was split literally in the scoreboard against Ottawa. So there's some time, some players have been cut. What do you make of it?
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy, let's start off with this way. I have a little bit of a segment I'd like to bring to the table tonight.
Oh.
I'm going to call it Persons of Interest, and I have a few for tonight. Would you like to hear?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
I'm going to start in net with the obvious one, with the low-hanging fruit. It's Matt Murray getting his first start of the preseason. He's scheduled to play 40 minutes tonight, and Eric Sheldron's going to play the rest of the way. The thing for Matt Murray tonight, I would love to come on this mic and tell you how important it is for him to get off to a good start and have a shutout and save every puck and feel really, really good, and how imperative that's going to be. To a certain degree, yes, but I think there needs to be a little bit of a transition period for this player. He's come into a new team, new organization, new players, new systems. We're talking about a game where he's not going to have his regular six defensemen playing in front of him. We talked about these preseason games where it's a little scrambly from time to time. There is defensive letdown. So for him, just feel comfortable, feel confident in the net. Hopefully the puck hits you a few times in the early going, and you can get into the rhythm of the game that way. Ilya Samsonov went 16 for 16 in the previous game. I expect Matt Murray to do something similar. You talk about early on in the season in training camp, his body should be feeling pretty good. Like this is the time of year where your body should be feeling the best that it really does throughout the season. So that's my first persons of interest. You want the next one?
Yes. Well, wait a minute. Now, you wanted to call the segment what?
Persons of interest.
Okay, I was thinking maybe we call it Frankie's C-Note or Frankie's 100 because the C-Note is 100.
Guy, that's why you're the best in the business.
Which one do you like?
Well, I like them both. I'll let you pick since you are the captain of the show. I actually do have a nickname for us that I'm not sure it's percolating. I don't know when I'm going to debut it.
Well, if you're not sure, I wouldn't.
I don't know if it's a preseason nickname. We'll see. Maybe we'll get to it in the home
Let's
opener.
continue on with Frankie's C-Note.
All right. The next one is going to be Alex Kerfoot. He's going to be playing center tonight. He's going to be second line center. And we know what happened to John Tavares, strained oblique. He's going to be gone for at least 3 weeks. This presents an opportunity for Alex Kerfoot to really show his strength. And for me, that strength is versatility. I think, we've been talking about Alex Kerfoot potentially being traded or moved. And, I think this is part of the reason you have a guy like Alex Kerfoot. He can play up and down the lineup. He can play center. He can play wing. And he provides a lot of different elements to this team. So I think it's a good way for him to get his feet wet.
Just looking at the scoreboard, and the Leaf players are coming out. They're going to be wearing Team Canada replica jerseys, which is a real nice tribute to Team Canada.
Those 72.
Are sharp. Yeah, very sharp. And you can see that the actual Leaf jerseys they wear in the game are lined up along the boards. The Montreal Canadiens will do the same. This is a really nice touch, isn't it?
Yeah, and it looks like they actually have the numbers of players from the 72 team because I just saw Mark Giordano wearing number 4, and he wears number 55 for the Leafs, of course. So really cool tribute and really cool jerseys.
Yeah, this is a special night to say the very least. So continuing on with what's at hand here, Montreal obviously has the white Team Canada jerseys and the Leafs the red, the home and away thing. And, of course, they will I imagine there's some sort of an auction that goes on with those jerseys.
Yeah, I would hope so. And MLSE Foundation always raising a lot of money for a lot of different causes, and I would imagine if I was guessing, this would be going to that as well.
Yeah, so we got about a minute left before we hand it over to Mike Ross. In terms of Montreal, it's kind of a rookie-laden lineup, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm really excited to see the first overall pick from this past NHL draft, Juraj Slafkovsky. Watching him play last game, he's big, he's strong, he pursues the puck. You can see that there's a great base there and some great habits that he already has as a player. And, I think it's only a matter of time before we see him thrive in this league and put it all together. But, man, is he a specimen. Like, even watching him in warm-up, he is a big body, and he moves really well. And I'm excited to see what he's all about.
So Tavares has the oblique problem, out for a bit. There are other injuries with the Leaf roster, but there's depth here. And so we look forward to seeing some of the newer players or the depth players maybe getting a shot and making a contribution.
Well, we're going to get to see a little bit of the defensive depth and Jordy Ben getting a chance to play with Morgan Riley tonight, Giordano and Brody reunited, and Dahlstrom and Mete. So a little bit of a depth pairing there, and we'll get a chance to see it.
Okay, so the teams have lined up in their blue lines, and we're about ready to head over to Mike Ross, the PA announcer, for the Team Canada 72 ceremony, and that's going to happen right now.
Before 1972, the Soviet Union and Canada had never played a best-on-best game of hockey, let alone a head-to-head 8-game series. 35 of our country's best NHLers, All-Stars, and future Hall of Famers agreed to play. Many assumed it would be easy. Instead, what many still consider to be the greatest international hockey series ever played came to a conclusion 50 years ago to this day. A 27-day battle played across 4 provinces and 2 nations locked in a Cold War. 4 games in Canada, 4 in the Soviet Union. Tonight, we celebrate the 50th anniversary of the 1972 Summit Series. And throughout the evening, during each timeout, we will relive each game of the series together. We now ask that you turn your attention to the video board as we journey back to September of 1972, to those 8 games that changed our sport forever.
It was a special time. I mean, you can't say that history matters if people don't feel as if it matters.
People talk about it every day, everywhere you go.
It shows how important that series was.
We were overwhelmed by the mystery, I suppose, of the Soviets.
Two countries that were very good in hockey, two countries that politically were very, very, very different.
We knew it was going to be a battle, that's for sure. They played a different game than we did.
I think when we got embarrassed, we got real.
We were a fairly arrogant group prior to getting our ass kicked in the first game.
We are in a war here. This is no game. This is war.
Tonight we are making hockey history. Here's another shot. Right by the goal.
We are privileged to welcome to tonight's game members of Team Canada from the 1972 Summit Series. Representing Toronto, Ontario defenseman number 17, Bill White, his son, Cam White. Representing Sarnia, Ontario defenseman number 3, Pat Stapleton, his wife, Jackie Stapleton. Representing Vancouver, British Columbia-born general manager and assistant coach John Ferguson, his son, John Ferguson Jr. Representing Oakville, Ontario forward number 11, Vic Hatfield, his son, Jeff Hatfield. And representing Toronto, Ontario defenseman number 38, Brian Glennie, his daughter, Rebecca Glennie. Please welcome from Montreal, Quebec, goaltender number 1, Eddie Johnston. From Elmira, Ontario, defenseman number 16.
Next, this is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network.
I'm having a hard time deciding what to get from 2-for-1 Pizza.
It's pizza. How hard can it be?
It's not just pizza. 2-for-1 Pizza has so many great choices like the plant-based garden pesto pizza, pizza and wings, the pizza and penne combo, and the sweet combo with apple fritter, just to name a few.
Ooh, decisions.
Check out all the great menu items at 241 Pizza. Visit 241pizza.com.
241 Pizza, 241, 241.
Back to school or back to the office? Maybe you'd enjoy the school drop-off line or the commute to work in a new Toyota. Build your next dream Toyota your way. When you build it at Maple Toyota, you can personalize it just the way you like. And if you need some suggestions, their product specialist can help. Build and order today to avoid disappointment later. Can't wait? Check out Maple Toyota's pre-owned inventory arriving daily. It's time to Toyota. Make it easy, make it Maple. MapleToyota.com.
Part of the Zankin Auto Group.
Two-time Academy Award winner Hilary Swank stars.
I'm going to break this story.
In one of the most anticipated dramas of the season, Alaska Daily. New series starts Thursday, October 6th. Set your PVR, only on CTV.
Thousands of people contact InventHelp monthly about their invention or new product. Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Call InventHelp now. Best of all, the call and information are free. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential, explaining every step of the invention process. We create professional materials and submit them to companies who are looking for new ideas in your category. We have more than 9,000 companies who have agreed to review new ideas in confidence. If a company shows interest in manufacturing your invention, we can negotiate on your behalf. We've helped over 10,000 clients receive patents. We offer 3D modeling and animation, prototyping services, and we use state-of-the-art technology to present client ideas to additional companies. Join people just like you who made the call to InventHelp. You have nothing to lose. The call and the information are free. Call 1-800-353-6081. That's 1-800-353-6081. Again, 1-800-353-6081.
Wellness at home is within reach for you and your loved ones. Explore home healthcare solutions at your nearest Wellwise by Shoppers location to discover how we can help you take control of how you age. Wellwise by Shoppers. Bring wellness home.
TSN 1050. Listen anywhere. Stream your favorite shows in your car. Available on Apple CarPlay via the iHeartRadio app. TSN 1050. Everywhere you want it.
Scotiabank Arena. 50 years ago, it was the Luzhniki Ice Arena in Moscow, Soviet Union. And what a great tribute to see as many as we could of the Team Canada 72 members. Brad Park unable to make it. Phil Esposito was going to make it, but Mother Nature had a little something to do with him not being able to get out of Florida. But Ralphie, and God bless everybody here, I would say 5% of the audience maybe were alive and understood, and maybe not even alive, but were able to comprehend what it meant. Unless you were a teenager or a young adult, which I was, you had no idea that this was so much more than just a hockey game. So much more.
Well, as Phil Esposito put it, it was war.
It was the first time that our country had declared war on someone without having to use bullets.
Well, and the thing is, it will never be done again simply because now players play together in the NHL. They play together in international teams. They play together in junior. You know what I mean? So it's not like you're going to play somebody you've heard of but never seen live before.
We're underway. Matt Murray getting the start in goal for Toronto. We'll talk a little bit about the 72 series throughout the course. They're going to replay highlights of each game during the TV timeouts here during the contest tonight. Both teams, of course, coming onto the ice wearing the, well, I was going to say traditional, but the iconic and once used Team Canada jerseys as a shot deflects in front of the Leaf. Goal and a backhand sent by Chris Weidman went wide of the net. Both lineups are, not a lot of the starters.
Let's just say I might have played the second half for one of these teams if this was
really. Oh, good.
These are the ones I used to play with.
You know what? I'm going to check that out with Dennis Hull. He's here.
No, Dennis wasn't in Chicago.
There. No, that's right.
He was in Detroit.
Yes, yeah, you're right. Played up along the boards in the Leaf zone. Henneman trying to play it around back of the net and does. Here's Yellowman trying to work it out into the slot, and a shot from the point whistled there by Jackeye went wrong. It comes back to the point. Jackeye keeping it in. Canadians with a shot deflected just wide of the Leaf goal. Matt Murray wearing sweater number 30. Nylander without a stick is able to kick it out into the center ice area, and the Leafs will send it down into the Montreal zone. Samuel Montembeault gets the start in goal for the Montreal Canadiens. As the pass comes ahead to Mitchell Stevens. Stevens down the right wing. A long shot goes wide of the Leaf net. Punch back in around the boards into the corner for Stevens. Stevens will drop it off, being chased hard there by Victor Mete. Comes back to the point, a shot in traffic, didn't make it through. Back to the blue line for Barron, and it comes out into the center ice area.
Well, Leafs right back on their heels right off the opening faceoff here. Montreal still not a shot on goal, but plenty of pressure in front of Matt Murray.
Played down into the Canadiens' end. Down there is McMahon trying to pin it and wait for reinforcements off the bench. He got free for Abruzzese, and it comes back along the boards and into the corner. Abruzzese after it again, but it's punch free, and Justin Barron of the Canadiens will get things organized in his own end. Canadians bring it to center. Backhanded in over the line by Leskinen. Puck along the boards, and the Leafs are able to get it back out. A long lead pass up on the right side. Steve's trying to drive the net, and it was off his stick and into the corner. Comes back to the blue line, and Brody couldn't keep it in. Kyle Clifford got a pass on the wing now for Douglas. Curtis Douglas sends it down into the zone. Clifford goes into the corner after it. Couldn't come up with it. Good hit along the boards by Giordano. A puck with Mete going back into the Leaf zone to control it. Victor Mete, who played for the Montreal Canadiens, gets it to center and then drops it into the Montreal zone. Puck along the boards, trying to center it in front of the net. Holmberg couldn't get it for the Maple Leafs, and the Habs will launch it back in with Joel Armia sending it down into the far corner. Armia centers in front of the net, and it went off a stick, and now a foot race on the left wing with Nylander. Nylander trying to drive, pulls up at the top of the circle. Left wing side, gets it into the corner. Yarncroc got a shot away, and it's going to deflect and go up into the screen and out of play.
Well, Yarncroc might be a guy you want to get the puck to. He had a couple of snipes the Saturday afternoon tilt against the Ottawa Senators. By the way, with Matt Murray getting the starting goal, and I know a lot of eyes are going to be on him. There was very big pushback publicly and in the media about Jack Campbell not re-signing with the Toronto Maple Leafs. But you remember Eddie Belfour when he came to Toronto. It seemed that every preseason game he played, he gave up a goal in the first shot, the first few minutes. Fans started to boo him here in this building. And Eddie would go on to shut out the Pittsburgh Penguins 6-0 in the season opener in Pittsburgh, and everything was fine.
So what you're saying is preseason doesn't mean diddly squat?
I told you, I used to play in these games.
You know what? That was unfair. I should not have mentioned it in that kind of a vein.
Yeah. Well,
true, but in that vein. Well, I never got to play in any preseason. Canadians back in their own zone, back of the net. Schoenemann playing it into the slot and got it up on the wing to center. And Jackeye sends it down into the zone. Arbor Jackeye, spelled exactly how it sounds, Xhekaj. Drop pass for the Leafs and a pass into the slot. Here's Kerfoot with a drive. And that went off a stick and ramps up into the screen and out of play.
This might be a little bit of a tough one. I think we've got a better crowd tonight, Joe, than we did for either game Saturday. Did you not agree?
Yeah, I think so.
And I know probably a little disappointing because you buy tickets and you're not exactly sure who's going to be in the lineup.
But for a lot of people, this is an opportunity to actually come.
Yeah,
and
just an experience.
As tough as it is to get tickets during the regular season, lots of people. I had a young family from Newfoundland who came just ahead of the troubles that they had with the weather, and were here for the last game. Absolutely thrilled. First time they'd ever been to an NHL game. Centering pass off a stick, batted back at the net. Abrazizi for the Leafs trying to center, and it didn't work. Canadians will try to chip it off the glass and get it to center, and the Leafs have it there. Played ahead now for Alex Steeves. Speaking of people who have scored twice in the preseason, the young Notre Dame Fighting Irish graduate had 2 in the first game against Ottawa. Game the Leafs won. Barron for Montreal. Hits it up on the wing to the line. Good play by Mete to squeeze him off the puck. Played into the slot area. Here's a chance. Good save made by Matt Murray. Coming in off the stick there of Leskinen. Puck out into the center ice area. Owen Beck for the Canadians just shoots it in. What do you want to see from Matt Murray?
Just to see that comfort level. Not overplaying shots. Not getting caught out of the net. Staying square. It's dumb as it sounds, and you often hear it with the position, is to keep it simple. And one thing you've got to remember, and with all due respect to what the Ottawa Senators have done this offseason, it's going to have a little better team in front of them, a little more offense to bail them out in the odd bad night. Hopefully he keeps it to that.
And as much criticism goes to the Leaf defense core, it was a pretty good.
Yeah, and Samsonov, by the way, looked very good on Saturday. Exactly just what we just said. He was very poised, squared up.
Nylander gets the puck free, and the Leafs break it out into the center ice area. Across the line comes Denny Malgin with a shot that deflects over top of the net. Round back of the net is Brody. Got it up on the wing. Nylander is hauled down. Puck comes into the slot area. Trying to work his way out in front was Holmberg. That didn't work. Holmberg carries to the near corner for the Leafs. Back to the pointed drive and whistled just wide of the net. Oh, Mark Giordano demonstrated that shot of his is still very much there in the repertoire. He really launched that one. And the Leafs can use that. Here's Robertson and scores! Nick Robertson took a long pass from Giordano and on an angle beats Montembeault, and the Maple Leafs have a 1-0 lead.
When we talk about Matt Murray, you want him to get some confidence. Nick Robertson's going to be right up there. He scored in the bubble against Columbus in August of 2020. Scored his first regular season goal against the Vancouver Canucks last year in this building. And here in preseason, Roberts with some speed. And you mentioned it, the great pass from Giordano from his own end to Robertson at the Montreal blue line. He's in full speed. And just below the face-off dot, snaps at 5-hole of the Montreal goaltender Montembeault, and the Leafs are up 1-0.
Armia will play it down into the Toronto end. Murray giving it off to Robertson, who centered it in front of his own goal. Oh, boy. Great at one end, and the coaches will have a word about what was on in the other end.
We'll have a word.
A word. We'll have a word. Canadians tap it in over the Toronto blue line. Morgan Riley snapping it around the boards to the near side. Kerfoot unable to get to it. And it is played back down into the Toronto end.
Now, if you're Montembeault, the Montreal goaltender, you're going to want that one. Even though it was a great shot by Robertson, anything off the wing 5-hole is not considered a good one.
Here the Leafs in over the line with Brody carrying into the zone. Looks for an outlet. Back to the point. Left wing side, Mete trying to get it in. He did. It trickled off his stick and went to the net. And Montembeault was easily able to knock it into the corner. Canadians get it to the line and out. It's a delayed offside. The Leafs will have to tag up. 1-0 Toronto with 11:44 to play here in the period. Great seats here at Scotiabank Arena. Not nearly as good as the ones I had yesterday. Our shot from an angle is stopped by Murray. Really should try that seat, Ralphie. It's really something.
Well, I would have no idea how to get that seat.
Neither did I. I just happened to have a friend who had a friend.
Well, see there. You're already one ahead of me. Not only do I not have friends, but if I did, they probably wouldn't have any
No,
other
they wouldn't
friends.
have those tickets anyway. Yeah, who's kidding who, right? Scott Benton and John Heathers. Thanks to them.
Although I did get
My
several
phone blew
messages
up.
wondering if I was there.
Oh,
I said,
no.
Yeah. You could probably guess where I was sitting if I was.
You were Bob Euchre. You're up. Hey, missed the tag.
Ever heard of the 700 level?
Yes. And a penalty coming here as a couple of players are down. And I think Malgin maybe, or is it Malgin? Yes.
And both went down.
No,
but
now
looks
the
like
Canadian player going to get the penalty. So a break in the action here. 10 minutes and 47 seconds remaining here in the first period. And I would have thought that they may have taken a commercial break, but apparently not. Nope, yeah. I guess they are. You're listening to Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
At TELUS, we know a thing or two about goats. It's what makes us the best network to get the new iPhone 14 Pro, which of course is the greatest iPhone of all time. Yes, you get it. That and how we're also the most giving network. So now that it's here, visit us online at TELUS.com to order the latest... Sorry?
She's the oldest rookie in the FBI.
The fact that I'm here should scare the hell out of you.
From the executive producers of The Rookie, Niecy Nash Betts stars in The Rookie Feds. New series starts Tuesday at 10/8 Mountain. Set your PVR only on CTV.
The greatest iPhone of all time. For $0 up front with TELUS Easy Payment. TELUS. Let's make the future friendly. Conditions apply, plus taxes.
Extend the summer feeling and escape the fall weather by heading down to Cuba. And with Sunwing's limited time fall into savings sale, you'll fall in love with all the sun, surf, and savings. With discounts up to $1,200 per couple at select top-rated resorts in Cuba, there's never been a better time to get away. But hurry, these deals won't last long. Book by October 2nd with your travel agent or at
More points, more offers, more savings. PC Optimum Points Days have arrived. Here's Candace.
Hey, PC, this was the first year I took advantage of your Points Days event, and I walked away with a fridge full of food, plus an extra 112,000 points. That's like $112 back.
Sounds like your Points Days literally paid off, Candace. With offers in every aisle and billions of points up for grabs, PC Optimum Points Days are one of the ways we make every day better. On now until September 28th. Open the PC Optimum app today and start earning.
Making your lousy commute fun. Overdrive with Hayes Noodles and the O-Dog every weekday, 4 to 7 p.m. on TSN 1050.
Back here at Scotiabank Arena, they've just shown highlights of Game 1 in the 72 Canada-Russia series.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but I remember watching that at my grandparents' place. And I remember thinking, okay, this is just make it close, because all we heard was it was going to be a blowout. The professionals, the best in the world against the amateurs from the Soviet Union. And what happens? Canada goes up 2-0 in the first 4 minutes. And I remember thinking, my God,
this is
going to be 7 more of these. Final score, Canada 3, Russia 7. And then the panic was on.
Oh, yeah. Here's Nylander with the Leafs power play. They've not scored with the man advantage in the preseason. Riley to Nylander, off the wing, down low. Malgin gets it back to him on the far half boards. Back to Riley. Riley, Nylander, closing with a shot, a deflection, and a scramble. Puck is still free. Cleared into the corner. Nylander after it there. Trying to fight his man for it, and it's played back to the blue line. Riley faked the shot. Steers over to the near side. Denny Malgin holding the puck. Down low, in back of the net it goes. Steves plays it back to the blue line to Nylander. Nylander to Riley. Riley, middle of the ice, can't get it by one of the Canadians. Gives it off to Malgin, near side. Back to Riley. The one-timer is whistled wide of the net. Nylander trying to play it into the corner, and the Canadians get it out and down the ice.
Boy, Morgan Riley got a lot of that, didn't he?
Just to finish that thought, I was in my basement, leaving the next day for my final year of university at University of Windsor. And I sat there by myself in absolute shock, like the rest of Canada, as we get an offside.
Yeah, it was incredible. And then once the games moved to Moscow, they were on, I believe, at around
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Yep. And I've often said the night before and leading up to the game that morning, the most nervous, apprehensive, excited I was ever, including 3 marriages and 4 children.
Well, you won on the children in the game 8.
I tried to say something, I know, and you twisted around on me.
Oh, I was taking the positive.
Well, at least you left the 3 marriages alone. Thank you.
If you said you could win on 5 out of the 8. You probably would have taken the 5, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, the 4 kids in game 8 in Moscow.
Yeah, we're good. We're good to go.
All right.
Oh, God.
See, when you're only 0 for 2, you can make fun of that stuff.
Yeah.
Marriages.
Wow.
But it was incredible. It just engulfed the entire country.
And
all the way up to Phyllis Basitos and passion speech in Vancouver when the Leafs lost that game. Or the Leafs, Team Canada lost that game.
Robertson to Giordano off on the right wing side. A shot blazes off the crossbar and comes out. And the Canadians will get it to the center ice area. Giordano playing it back in, but he had a man trapped inside the zone in Alex Steves. Played to the line and outside the line and offside. And so the faceoff will come back out into the center ice area. 9 minutes exactly remaining in the first period. 13 seconds left in the first power play opportunity, and Toronto leading by a score of 1-0.
By the way, Jordy Ben has left this game and will not return. It's precautionary reasons for him.
So the Leafs are down to
the
5 defensemen. Played to the line. You would think with 105 people in camp that in a preseason game they might say, yeah, go ahead, dress the other guy, bring him out.
No.
Really? You know what I mean?
I mean, just as a sort of a courtesy rule?
Yeah. I'm sure the Canadiens probably brought extra players just in case someone either got ill or hurt in the warm-up or something. You want to give everybody a chance. I mean, at any rate, a break here with 8:24 to go. Leafs not able to score with the power play, but Nick Robertson has the Leafs on the board. You're listening to Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Hi, I need to realign my chakras, and I think consolidating my debts into one easy payment would really help. I'd like a loan.
Do you own your home?
Yes.
Then you're approved.
Namaste.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Go to alpinecredits.ca to get started. Some conditions apply.
FSRA license 12616.
Great Wolf Lodge Indoor Water Park Resort is the perfect place to come together and discover the most family fun under one roof. This fall, whip down water slides, battle dragons, blast your friends in laser tag, bowl, and play mini golf. Your trip will be an experience that brings joy to every family member. For the best prices, go to greatwolf.com. Great Wolf Lodge. Don't just get away, come together.
That's the sweet sound of a Bell for Better initiative connecting a high school student to a video group chat. In fact, Bell is bringing high-speed internet access to over 30 First Nation communities across Canada, which includes many students like Mendy here in Meshtoyets. Video chat it up, Mendy. Visit bell.ca/Bell for Better to learn more about our community initiatives. Bell, today just got better.
Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph back here. They're just showing highlights of Game 2 of the series. By then, I was at university with a lot of my buddies, and we were, whoa, what's going to happen now? But Peter Mahovlich scored one of the great goals in the history of the sport. Short-handed. Yeah. And his brother added another, and the Canadiens went on to a 4-1 victory in Game 2. And as a collective nation, we all took a sigh of relief, but realized it was going to be a hell of a series. Playing around back of the net. Canadiens. Slavkovsky, the first-round draft pick, first overall, sending it down. Drouin was going to play, and they made the change for the youngster to play in this one. Nylander getting it back ahead. Dahlstrom carries back in his own zone for Toronto. Tried to flip it ahead. Had it handed back to him. Now gets it ahead. Holmberg in across the line. He's in. Oh, and a great save made there by Montembeault. That may have come out. A backhand try in front of the net again by Holmberg. Didn't work. And a whistle here and another penalty coming.
Boy, a great give and go between Holmberg and Willie Nylander. And Holmberg ended up with the puck on his stick right between the hash marks, but Montembeault was able to get over and make the stop.
32, 2 minutes. Cross-checking.
So I was just going to say, the Leafs don't score, but they're able to draw on the penalty shortly after that.
Ghislain Hebert and Cody Beach, who I don't believe we've had the pleasure of watching referee, are the referees. David Brisebois and Derek Nance and a couple of the veteran linesmen are working the game. Second power play for Toronto. 7:35 to go, first period. Draw one by the Leafs. Giordano working the point, gets it off on the wing, down low, and a centering pass jam play made by Alex Steeves. Just failed to connect. Steeves around back of the net, working into the corner. Gets it back to Robertson. Back to the point, Giordano. Off on the right side, sent back by Yarncroc. Left wing side, Robertson again. Robertson down low for Steeves. Steeves to the far side. Yarncroc back to the point to Giordano. Now to Robertson. Closing. Good shot, but he whistled it high over top of the net. Yarncroc able to keep it in. Yarncroc on the far boards for the Leafs. Back it goes to Robertson. Tipped by Giordano. Yarncroc once more. Back to Giordano. No avenue to shoot. Yarncroc gets the pass down low, and then a shot rings off the post. Leafs have had a couple of pieces of iron in the way. Giordano fakes the shot. Robertson with the pass. Closing, doesn't shoot it. Has it in his skates, trying to get it back, but a blind pass is out of the reach of Giordano and has gone down the ice.
It had been a blessing that it was out of the reach of Giordano, because if it was closer to the Leaf defenseman, that might have been picked off for a short-handed rush.
Played to center. In across the line. A pass on the wing. Shot kicked away by Montembeault. Canadians have iced the puck, and Riley will go back. First unit, at least in this game, for the power play is out there with Nylander coming through the neutral zone and in. Works to the right wing boards, flips it back to Riley. Near side, Malgin back to Riley. Riley works to the left wing side, looking for Nylander. Now works into the corner, back to Malgin. Pass off to Nylander, no chance to shoot it. Nylander back to Riley, left wing side, at the point. Holds, still with it, back to Nylander. Nylander looking for a man, still with it, back at the blue line, gives to Riley. Riley will shoot it, but it doesn't make it through. The penalty is expired. Riley gets another shot away, caroms off a stick, long lead pass, trying to spring it ahead for Rem Pitlick. Pitlick gets down into the corner for the Canadiens. Taken to the boards, 1-0 Toronto here in the first. Chris Weidman trying to get a shot away. Good deflection and a good save made by Matt Murray. Stood up, got square, made the save. Rolling puck in front, kicked into the corner by Morgan Riley.
Save for the first couple of shifts of the game, the Leafs have dominated. Thanks in no small part to the two power plays they've had.
And a couple of crossbar or posts and a crossbar.
Yep.
Canadians in their own zone. Gabriel Bourque got it to the Toronto blue line. Curtis Douglas was able to get it out at center. Douglas is a long drink of water. 6'8". Which coach was it that said every day he comes to work, 6'8"? Shot gloved by Murray and held for a faceoff. I think that was Matt Babcock, wasn't it? It said somebody every day he comes to work, he's 6'8". Same thing. That size never changes. A break here with 4:21 to play. First period, 1-0 Toronto. You're listening to Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050 on the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
When you give blood or plasma through Canadian Blood Services, you're not just helping someone. You're helping someone be there for their family, give back to their community, inspire a movement, maybe even change the world. Because when you donate blood or plasma through Canadian Blood Services, you don't just help save lives, you change so many more. You don't just make a difference, you make all the difference. Join Canada's Lifeline and book now at blood.ca.
Television's next can't-miss police drama is here. CTV Sunday.
I got your back.
From the executive producers of NYPD Blue, East New York. New series starts Sunday at 9. Set your PVR, only on CTV.
I'm having a hard time deciding what to get from 2-for-1 Pizza.
It's pizza. How hard can it be?
Items at 241 Pizza. Visit 241pizza.com.
241 Pizza. 241.
Wellness at home is within reach for you and your loved ones. Explore home healthcare solutions at your nearest Wellwise by Shoppers location to discover how we can help you take control of how you age. Wellwise by Shoppers. Bring wellness home.
TSN 1050. Listen anywhere. Stream your favorite shows on your smart speaker. Simply tell your smart speaker to listen to TSN 1050 everywhere you want it.
Well, they just showed the highlights of the game in Winnipeg, where Team Canada had a lead, but had it evaporate.
4-2 lead into the third period.
The game ended a tie.
Saw it again. Game 5. At least Canada had a 4-1 lead into the third period, lost 5-4.
And, of course, part of the experience in Winnipeg was the fact that Bobby Hull was not allowed to play because it was an NHL event, and he, of course, had signed the lucrative contract with the WHA, with the Winnipeg Jets. And then there was this other guy who kind of hung around practice and went overseas. His name was Orr. And he couldn't play because of his knees.
And you do wonder.
Oh, yes.
What impact that would have had on the series. I mean, both of them.
Yep. Here are the Leafs with a break-in on the right side. Malgin trying to go to the net, a backhand pass. And it was out of the reach of its intended receiver. Cutting in front of the goal and going to the net hard was Pontus Holmberg. Played into the slot. Malgin has lost his stick. Got the puck to center. Good play as the Leafs turn it over. And Giordano gets it ahead at center. Tip pass now. A shot by Robertson is kicked away there nicely by goaltender Montembeault. 1-0 Toronto on a goal by Nick Robertson. Kerfoot into the corner. Pass up on the wing for Robertson to Kerfoot. Quickly played on and lifted down into the zone by the Leafs. As Yarncroc got it down into the corner, Robertson freed it up. Yarncroc continues with it. Flipped it into an open corner where Riley is able to get to. Back of the net, Robertson for Toronto. Robertson up against the boards. Riley's able to come away with it. Back for Nicky Robertson. Oh, he came out with authority there on a wrap-in attempt. And Montembeault had to make a pretty good save. Rolling puck in on the Leaf goal is scooped aside. 2.5 minutes to play in the period. Robertson from Giordano. Canadiens Armia. Cross the line. A shot goes wide. Leafs' next action will be in Belleville on Friday night against the Ottawa Senators. Centering pass sent by Abruzzese, and it went off a stick and went wide. Canadians get it out at center. Leafs backhand it right back in again with Alex Steeves getting it in deep. McMahon into the forecheck and a pretty good hit, taking Chris Weidman to the ice. Weidman comes up with the puck again and sends a long lead pass, chipped by Owen Beck deeper into the Toronto end. Leafs Giordano. Shots are 9-7. Toronto. Now add 2 pieces of iron to that and a couple of other good scoring chances, and the Leafs certainly have had the better of the territorial advantage as we get an offside at the blue line.
Yeah, Leafs moved the puck pretty well, which was full evidence on the goal by Robertson. A great pass from Giordano out of the Leafs zone to Robertson right at the blue line, who walked in and off the angle, beat Montembeault. And really, like we said, other than the first couple of shifts where Montreal had the Leafs kind of back on their heels for a bit, Canadians have not really had any kind of sustained pressure in the Leafs zone.
I don't know if Robertson was trying to put it between Montembeault's legs or just stuff him and the puck into the net, because he really forcibly came out on that wraparound.
That was kind of like, the old table hockey games where you just spin it hard.
Or the good ones where the stick would catch the bottom and it would load up the spring even more, and then it would just whammo, and off it would go. Okay, that's an old game.
Well, my dad, I remember, had the game, and I remember we had it at my grandmother's for years. It was wooden, and there was actual mesh on the nets, but it was just like these wooden pegs with metal partitions for the sticks.
Yep.
And it was a metal ball, though, so you don't want them flying off the table.
Well, that's unfortunate. Jimmy lost an eye, but he scored the goal.
Yeah. That's when he knew he wanted to be a goalie.
Nylander playing it in. And Mike Ross is going to inform us.
Last minute of play in the first period.
Thank you very much, Michael. Nylander trying to play it out, had it blocked. Canadians keep it alive. Schnarr trying to get it back to the blue line, and in on the slot, a shot, and it was just off the mark wide. Nylander had about 4 feet to get it out and wasn't able to do so, and the Canadians got a decent scoring chance out of it. Played into the Toronto zone. Leafs regroup the puck. Back around the boards. Giordano lets it go out for Clifford and played in over the line by Douglas. Clifford in with a shot. Good blocking arm save made there by Montembeault. 16 seconds to go in the period. Pass intercepted, and quickly coming the other way is Heineman. Heineman in with a long shot. Matt Murray decided to play on McDuff.
Yeah, we're almost done.
Yeah, 2 seconds left. You got to look at the clock. Said we can get rid of this.
All right, I want to ask you a question, and I'm not being smart.
Yes, you usually are. Well, no, you're not usually smart.
When did they start announcing last minute to play in the period, and why? And I'm not being smart.
Yes, you are, because a guy last night said, "Were you there for Babe Ruth's 60th home run too?"
Was I? Oh, to you?
Yeah. I said, no, but I saw Roger Maris's,
That's
all
what
right?
you should have said, Herman? George Herman?
To answer your question, I have no idea.
No, I'm not. I was just thinking because, in football, they have a 2-minute warning, but they don't have in the middle of the play somebody come on and say 2 minutes to go in the quarter. This is a warning.
This is a warning. If you'd have asked me about hat tricks, I have that answer, but I do not have the answer for last minute.
In Guelph Biltmore's, right?
No. It was a haberdashery here in Toronto, gave out a hat to anybody that scored 3 goals.
See, I thought that started in Guelph. That's why they were called the Biltmores, which was
It was, but the guy who owned the store bought his hats from Biltmore's in Guelph. It was a hat store here in Toronto.
Oh, I tipped mine to you.
And he is the one that yelled out from the Grays last minute of playing the period.
Oh, Google that.
Yeah, just see if you can find the answer to that. All right, Jim Taddy may have the answer. We'll turn it over to him. You're listening to Montreal Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Extend the summer feeling and escape the fall weather by heading down to Cuba. And with Sunwing's limited time fall into savings sale, you'll fall in love with all the sun, surf, and savings. With discounts up to $1,200 per couple at select top-rated resorts in Cuba, there's never been a better time to get away. But hurry, these deals won't last long. Book by October 2nd with your travel agent or at
Whether it's back to school or back to the office, if you need a reliable pre-owned vehicle to get you to work or through the school drop-off line, check out Maple Toyota. At Maple Toyota, most of their used cars originate from their dealership, not from an auction, so you know exactly where it's been. Many of the used vehicles at Maple Toyota have even been serviced there throughout their entire ownership. It's time to Toyota. Make it easy, make it Maple. MapleToyota.com.
Part of the Zankin Auto Group.
Smart businesses are always looking for ways to improve. Better workdays can start with Cintas. Your dedicated Cintas service reps help make sure you have what you need when you need it. We'll deliver hygienically clean workwear, clean and sanitize your restrooms, stock your